Manchester United obviously lost 3-0 to Tottenham. We got to start with Man United because I've got a lot to get off my chest. After 3 minutes, bro, I literally just started watching the game. I see Van der Ven pick up the ball in the Spurs half after Bruno misplaced the pass. We'll speak about him later, by the way, because he's been terrible this season. So Van der Ven picks up the ball, he runs past 3 Man United players, he runs past Agate, De Ligt and Mazraoui. Just like that. This is a centre back we're talking about here. This is not flipping Kylian Mbappe, this is not R9, this is not Ronaldinho. This is a centre back and he's fast, but like you should at least try to stop him, innit? Like go close him down, tackle him, block him, just do something. It's so bad. It's so bad. The way he just runs through them, it's literally schoolboy stuff. It's the kind of stuff you see happening at like under 18s level. You should not be seeing this happen in the Premier League. Instead, Van der Ven just cuts through the United team like a knife through butter, crosses the ball into the box for Brendan Johnson to just tap in. It's easy tapping, and for some reason, Dallo just decided not to track Johnson, which is great. And United already 1-0 down. Mind you, I just started watching the game, and they're already 1-0 down. Like it's actually a joke. You can't be. And this has happened loads of times now. Pretty much most big games, we always concede early. From then on, it just got worse and worse and worse, man. We made Spurs look like prime Barcelona. Literally, Udogie and Werner were looking like Dani Alves and Messi. It's so bad. And they just kept cooking Mazraoui and De Ligt, who have actually been good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they've actually been decent. They're probably the 2 United signings that have actually been good. And they've been performing well-ish, well enough compared to the rest of the team standard, which isn't high, but it doesn't matter. Like, I thought they were the 2 that were like, okay, we can actually start to see something here. But today they stunk up the place. Spurs just created chance after chance after chance. Well, we did create some chances, it wasn't all bad, but then they fell to Xerxes. Get out! He was just so wasteful in front of goal. I don't want to hate because he's clearly very talented on the ball. His link-up play is good, but we need a proper striker, man. We've said it for years. We need a good striker. We need a proper striker who's going to score like 15, 20 goals. Because we can't keep relying on Rashford to get in form. And we can't rely on like a Garnacho purple patch where he scores like 1 or 2, 3, 4 goals. That is not enough to get Champions League, and that is where we should be. We shouldn't just be like relying on these players. We should be able to like rely on a striker. We know he's going to score in most games, but then the small bit of momentum that we had stopped straight after Bruno got straight red card for his challenge on James Maddison. In my opinion, it should have been a yellow. Obviously it's a foul, it's reckless, and he doesn't attempt to play the ball, which makes it look bad. But like, if you watched it, you would have seen like, he barely touched Maddison. Like, he literally, like, his heel hits him. Like, his studs are in the air, but like his studs don't connect to him. Like, it's not a serious foul. Like, he gets up and plays the whole game straight after. He was fine. Like, it shouldn't have been a red, but you know, the refereeing and the VAR in this country is so bad. So as usual, they get it wrong, they send Bruno off. And by the way, that's not me being salty, by the way. Like, that's not me hating, that's not me saying, oh, of course you'd say it's yellow because you know, you're a Man United fan, you would say that. The ref actually got it wrong. Like, they literally came out and said, we made a mistake. Like, Man United appealed the red card, it's now been cancelled, so at least Bruno is not suspended for these next few games. He will at least be able to play whoever the next few games are. I don't know who we're playing next, but at least we have Bruno for that. But that tells you, you know, it clearly wasn't a red card, otherwise they wouldn't overturn it. But I don't want to make it an excuse, because even if it was 11v11, we still would have lost anyway. We were still terrible. It just meant that we weren't going to come back. Like, we knew once we got the red card, I think most United fans knew, I knew, we're not coming back. We're not winning the game now. We just got to, charge it and just move on to the next game. Wait, that's not Spurs, which levels above United, and they cruise to a 3-0 win. But the scoreline's not the issue here. 3-0, we've seen worse now. It's like it's embarrassing, but we've seen worse. It's the performances. That's what's really pissed me off. That's the concern. Like, some of the whole midfield today was, to be honest, the whole team was poor, but like, I'm looking at like Manuel Ugarte, who made his first start today. He was so disappointing. Like, I was expecting not big things. I didn't really rate him, but I was hoping like, okay, we'll see some improvement because the bar's pretty low. Like, he's coming in replacing Casemiro, who has been abysmal. What was that thing that Carragher said? Leave the football before the football leaves you. That's Casemiro. That's how you sum up Casemiro. You're thinking Ugarte can't be that bad. We're gonna at least see some improvement. He was so poor. Hopefully, in the next few games he's gonna improve. It was his first start in the league, so I'm not gonna be too harsh. Some people, they have a bad debut. Well, not debut, but they have a bad first start and then they start doing well these next few games. Hopefully he's one of them, because otherwise it's going to be another flop signing. I see people online already saying he's a flop signing. I don't want to go too far. I feel like that's a little reactionary, but it's looking like a flop. The way he played today, he was playing like Casemiro. He looked tired. He looked like in the first goal, Van der Ven just ran past him. Like, he had so much of a head start on Van der Ven. Van der Ven still managed to get past him. He just couldn't get in the game, which is a concern. Like, he's meant to be the 6, he's meant to be the DM, he's meant to be like the core of the team. I'll be honest, I feel like I don't want to say it's a flop, but it could be. Like, I don't know why we signed him in the first place. He wasn't good at PSG. Luis Enrique didn't rate him. He was sitting on the bench for them. We probably should have just got him on loan. I don't know why we actually signed him permanently. It's a big risk we've taken. We'll see if it pays off. Mainoo was actually good. Kobe Mainoo was actually pretty good. He was the only one of the outfield players, him and Onana, but the only two that were actually like, okay, they were decent, They actually performed okay, but then he got injured, which makes everything worse. Like, literally everything that could go wrong did go wrong in that first half. The team played shit. Bruno got himself sent off, and Mainoo was injured, and we conceded the goal. All in one half. Like, as first half score, that's pretty bad. At Old Trafford as well. Like, this is supposed to be we're usually pretty good at home, but I guess not anymore. But yeah, hopefully Mainoo recovers on that, because it's in Kobe we trust. That's all we have. I did see today though, I think he's in training. I think he'll be back for the next few games. He has to be back. If he's not back, then we're fucked. We might as well give up now. Bruno fucking Fernandes. I mean, I'm still waiting for this guy to turn up in a big game. He's supposed to be the captain, but he just disappears whenever shit hits the fan. Like, he gets the odd goal here and there against a couple of big teams. I remember last season against Liverpool, he scored a great goal. He'll score a penalty sometimes. But that's it. Like, in terms of 90-minute performances, good 90-minute performances against a big side, against a top team, it just never happens. He's great against the small teams. He's stat pads against them. He'll score 2 goals, 3 goals, 1 assist, 2 assists against the flipping Lutons and Burnleys and these trash teams, no disrespect. But, like, you're the captain. We also need you to turn up in the big games. That's what real captains do. And again, the debate is starting again about whether Bruno should be captain of Man United or should not be. I mean, obviously, he's not really captain material. You can see that. The way he plays, he's just not captain. He's too emotional. He gets too, like, you saw it today. The tackle he made was like, it was very dumb. Even though I don't think it should be a red card, and they obviously also agreed that it shouldn't be a red card, it was still pretty dumb from him to swipe out a Madison like that. There was no need for him to make that challenge. And to be honest, like, he's been poor this season. Really and truly, he's been so bad. And that's a huge concern, because he's been our best player now for God knows how many years. And if he's playing poor, that tells you everything you need to know. Like, to the point where I was genuinely thinking, we should probably bench him, to be honest, because he's not had a good start to the season. And when you start benching your best players, then, that's when you know the team is in trouble. Like, other teams, they never think about benching their best players. You never hear about Arsenal saying, "Oh, we might need to bench Saka. He's not playing great." You never hear about Man City saying, "Oh, we need to bench Haaland. He's not playing great." You never hear Liverpool saying, "We need to bench Salah. He's not playing great." That's what top teams, their top players turn up consistently. With us, Bruno, and yeah, to be honest, I probably would have started Eriksen, because Eriksen has actually been good. He's one of the few players, Eriksen and Amad Diallo, who again, I don't know why Ten Hag decided to put him in the bench in this game, when he's again one of the few only good attackers we have that's actually playing well. You know, Eriksen and Amad are like two of the few players that actually like can keep hold of the ball and actually play and make us look good. That kind of tells you everything you need to know about Ten Hag. Who else? Oh, Lisandro Martinez.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Oh my god. He had another dreadful performance today as well. He's probably, if we're being really honest, he's probably the worst Man United player this season. He's been the worst. Like, to be honest, let me give him a new nickname actually. He's Mr. 5'3" with an attitude.
5'3" with an attitude. 5'3" with an attitude. See.
The guy, he thinks it's a slip and slide, because every single game he just keeps trying to slide tackle players. He's gone for slide tackles when we're in the opposition's half. Like, why are you doing that? Not every tackle has to be a slide tackle, bro. And you don't. It's not every day last ditch defending. Like, just tackle normally. I've seen you tackle normally in previous seasons. Now how come this season all of a sudden you want to be the guy dropping 10 tackles? Like, you're not that guy, bro. And he just keeps getting dragged around the pitch. Like, every single striker's just toying with him. Like, I thought Lisandro was supposed to be the butcher, but clearly not. Every striker's making mincemeat out of him. This week it was Solanke. A few weeks ago it was Jota. Before that it was Danny Welbeck. When we play City it will probably be Haaland. When we play Chelsea it will be Jackson. I can already see it happening now. Like, every single game he tries to be aggressive, fight to the striker, clamp him, but he's just too slow. Either he gets there too late and then the striker just spins him and runs him behind, or even when he does get there in time, the other team will just play over the top and the striker will run him behind and Lisandro can't keep up. He's short. Like, his legs are short. Like, there are some people that are short that are fast. He's not one of them. He just needs to pattern up, because he's supposed to be a key part of this team. He's meant to be like, to be honest, he's the only good player that Ten Hag signed. He's the only one that you can actually say is like a success, you know. All the others are pretty much guaranteed flops, like Anthony, Casemiro, or Nana. Like, they've all been flops, they've all been terrible. He's the only one that's like, okay, there's actually some kind of debate here. And speaking of Ten Hag, it looks pretty inevitable that he's going to be sacked. Like, he needs to get on Indeed. I don't know where they look for managers, but he needs to get on LinkedIn. He needs to get on one of them sites, because he's going to be sacked. Pretty much going to be sacked. Certainly before Christmas, probably in the next international break in a few weeks, he's going to be gone, I imagine. Unless the team goes on a winning run, and we've seen it before with Oli, or with pretty much most managers, where it looks like the manager's going to be sacked, and then the players decide now they want to turn up, and then they keep him in the job and they prolong the inevitable. We've seen it with this club so many times. We know what these players are like. But again, it doesn't look like we're going to win our next few games. We've got Porto away in Europa, Aston Villa away, Brentford at home, Fenerbahce away, and that Fenerbahce team is managed by Jose Mourinho, by the way. So realistically, I think we lose like 3 of them 4 games. Maybe we win the Brentford one, maybe, because it's at home and Brentford aren't doing good. But I can't see us beating Villa. Their team is better than ours. If we can't beat Spurs, I don't see how we beat Villa. Because at least the Spurs going into the game, I was thinking, okay, well, our players are around the same as theirs. The Villa players are way better than ours. And then Fenerbahce away, you know, these Turkish teams, the atmosphere is too much for this team. I know what this team is like. They don't have the balls, they don't have the cojones, they don't have the mentality to go away and get a result. Porto away as well, that's even harder. That's an even better team than Fenerbahce, to be honest. That's a Champions League team. We're not going to beat them. He's going to lose them games. He's probably going to be sacked. And I imagine INEOS will put Van Nistelrooy as the manager, as like an interim manager, and they'll look for a permanent one. That's probably why they brought him in, to be honest. It makes sense now, because he actually has some kind of managerial experience. He was at PSV, I think, or one of them Dutch teams. And yeah, they'll bring him in and they'll look for a new manager, because it just doesn't seem like it's working. Like, the players look lost. There's no style of play. The results are poor. We can't score goals, but we can see loads of goals. He has all the players fit. So there's no excuse as well, by the way, because he's been given loads of money. He's had time to build this squad. This is his third season now. And if you look at the squad, in fact, I'll put it on the screen, like, most of these players are his. Pretty much all of them, apart from like Rashford and Bruno. Certainly all the starters, they're all his players. So there's no excuses. And like, we lose to big teams, we lose to small teams. We're drawing to teams like FC20. I don't even know how you say that team, bro. I don't even know where that team. I assume they're Dutch. I've never heard of that team before. And everyone's saying like, oh, well, Ajax is different to the Premier League. You know, Dutch League is different. Maybe he should go back to Dutch League. That's his level. But even that's not his level, because he can't even beat them teams. It's so bad. He's been given loads of money to spend, time to build a squad. I just don't see how he turns it around. I saw a stat the other day that was shocking. It's so bad. Where it was comparing Ten Hag to Gary Neville as a manager. Obviously, you all know Gary Neville, great Man United right back, legend, captain of the club, Sky Sports pundit. He was the manager of Valencia a few years, well, actually a while ago, 2015, 2016 times. He obviously got sacked. He was terrible. Any of you guys that know, he was like pretty much ran out of Spain. They all laughed at him. If you mention Gary Neville in Spain, they'll laugh at him and tell you about his time at Valencia. Like, he's widely considered, like, that spell was widely considered like one of the worst of like modern day managers. Like, it was bad. Last 28 games, he had 11 losses. They scored 39 goals and they conceded 38 goals in Ten Hag's last 28 games. Obviously, that's not good, right? And in Ten Hag's last 28 games at Man United, we've had 10 losses, so one loss less. It's about the same. 42 goals scored. Okay, we scored a few more goals, and then 40 goals conceded. We've conceded more goals. Like, so it's the same stats. And and mind you, Gary Neville was laughed out of Valencia. He was sacked, laughed out of Valencia. Everyone calls him a flop. Everyone laughs at him still to this day for it. But with Ten Hag, it's like, no, it's okay because we won the FA Cup. And anyone that says, oh, we need context with the stats, you know, stats are misleading, blah, blah, blah. You don't. Trust me, you don't want to hear the context. It's worse. The context makes it even worse for Ten Hag. Because that Valencia team, they were up against, obviously 2015, 2016, they were up against like MSN, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bale, Benzema, Ronaldo, like, and prime Atletico Madrid. They were up against top teams in La Liga, like some of the best teams of all time. Certainly the Barca team and the Real Madrid team. Meanwhile, we're up against like Man City, who are good, but they're not that good. They're not better than that Barca team or the Real Madrid team. No way. Liverpool again. Liverpool are a good team, but they're not better than those teams. And Arsenal's it's Arsenal that don't win anything. Like, the context makes it even worse. At least with Gary Neville, Valencia, you can understand it. Like, Valencia aren't a small team. They don't spend that much money. Gary Neville was a young, inexperienced manager at the time. Ten Hag, bro, this is I don't know how, pushing 50, pushing 60, old man, experienced in the game, managed at top clubs, has pretty much signed all the players that he wants, spent way more, and he has the same kind of stats and results. I'll be shocked if he doesn't get sacked. But, you know, there's two sides to every game, and even though United were shit, Spurs were also really good. Everything clicked today for Postecoglou. They had a shaky start to the season as well, so this is a big win. You know, I think before the game, Tottenham and United were like around the same position in the table. We were like 12, 13. Obviously now they've gone well above us, but the point is, this is a must-win game. This is a close game. Like, both of us had a poor start to the season. So for them to get a win as well, away from home as well, is huge. And they also played some beautiful football. Like, the midfield actually looks quality. You know, Bentancur, Maddison, Kulusevski. It looks like a proper midfield three finally. I felt like Spurs last season, they kind of struggled with their midfield. They had like Saab, Suma, and Maddison 10. It was kind of felt like a workhorse midfield rather than like a quality midfield. This one, you know, Bentancur, I think he was injured last year. That probably helps why they're good now, because he's back. He's good on the ball. And playing Maddison Kulusevski as like deep as 2/8 is actually genius from Ange, because it helps them get on the ball a lot more than, you know, when they're high up the pitch as 10s or as wingers. I had some question marks when he did it though, because they've never done it before. Maddison's never been an 8. He's always been a number 10 for Leicester, for England. And I've always questioned defensively whether he can hack it as an 8. He can. Kulusevski as well, again, he doesn't really play in midfield. I think for Sweden, maybe sometimes he plays in the 10, but never like as an 8 like he does now for Spurs. But it makes sense now. Like, it's genius from Ange, to be honest, because, you know, I don't know anyone that thought of that. Certainly I wouldn't. I think most people, a lot of managers would have just seen, okay, Maddison plays as a 10, play him in number 10. Kulusevski as a right winger, play him in right wing. So again, we have to credit Ange. A lot of people like to get onto Ange when it doesn't work, you know, the high line, the set pieces, like everyone likes to make fun of Ange when it's not going well. You have to also then give him his flowers when it is going well. You know, you can't have your cake and eat it. You've got to respect him when he's doing well. Who else? Brennan Johnson, he seems to have found his shooting boots. He's finally starting to repay the price tag. He scored 4 in his last 4 games. Him and Solanke as well also scored today, had another good game. Tore Lisandro Martinez apart. They're both of them showing why Spurs paid the big bucks for them, because a lot of people been getting onto them start of the season, even last season for Brennan Johnson, saying, why did they get him? Is he really worth the money? They're both showing that they are. We have to talk about the run from Van de Ven, though. I didn't really speak about it too much clearly because I was busy venting about how shit Man United are. Take nothing away from Van de Ven, that is a great run. You know, I haven't seen that before. I haven't seen that in a very long time, where a centre-back makes a run, makes a fast run as well, by the way. The amount of distance he covered, it wasn't just like edge of the box, run a few steps. Like, he ran from inside his own half all the way to literally the byline. And not just that, he actually produced a good cross at the end. Most of the time when you see centre-backs run with the ball, like, they get a nosebleed. They start panicking and they just shoot or they miss and they play a terrible pass. He actually had the composure at the end to say, you know what, I can put in a cross and get an assist. And in terms of pace, he's gone band for band with all centre-backs in the league for pace right now. He's probably the fastest, I'd say. You let me know if there's anyone else faster than him, because the way he ran that, the way he was moving on that run, I ain't seen a centre-back like that. I've seen centre-backs like recovery runs like that, but I ain't seen them go forward like that. So things are looking good for Spurs. For United, these next few games, we don't win these next few games, it's long for Ten Hag, it's long for INEOS, it's long for most United fans as well that were backing Ten Hag, including me. I'll hold my hands up, I was wrong. I was one of them people that said after the FA Cup, give him another chance, give him a fresh run with his players, no injuries, see what he does. It hasn't worked. He just hasn't managed to get this team to play a style of football. He's nervous, you can tell his press conferences are terrible. The way he speaks is actually like when I listen to him speak, it feels like he's gaslighting me. Like, talking about, we've won trophies and we're playing good football and you can see we're working, and like, he's just lying. Like, he's literally lying in his press conferences. Like, it's just, I've had enough of him, bro. He needs to go. if we don't win these next few games, he's gonna go, man.
I got the things moving like United back in the 90s, they're coming for trebles. I went and got myself indicted, I done a good finish and I made the net nest, so I done it from Quay like Hernan Crespo.